What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, as always, Parish Sharky in the building. Parish, what's going on, my boy?
What's good, man? Everything good on my end. How about you?
Man, I'm good, man. I went to work today. I work at my job 2 days in office, 2 days out of office, right? So I'm in the office today. I'm in that joint, ruffling papers, man. You know what I mean? Walking around, acting like I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, man. Making myself look busy, doing busy work, checking emails, man. But the whole time, I couldn't concentrate, Parish Sharky. All I could think about, Parish Sharky, was visiting Edey, hitting hook shots in the lane. That's all I can see, man. That's all I can see, man.
Yeah, man. Get there. What about that post up and dunking on two people?
Spin around just yamming on folks, bro. And I saw him working Miles Turner, man. I remember Miles Turner when he had the little pineapple dreads.
He sure did. Hey, boy.
I remember that version of Miles Turner. I'm a Miles Turner guy, man. He was getting handled.
The one that was on trade block every single season.
Every single season, man. He's one of the best bigs in the NBA. People are saying he should be
trade for him. Like what? Just last year.
He was an Olympian. All these not Olympian. He was, part of the whole FIBA program, right? He's the guy, Miles Turner. Getting cooked out there by Zach Edey last night, man. Zach, shout out to you, man, former Tiger. Getting your ass toe up last night. The other dude, hold on, what's his name?
Oh, boy.
What's his name?
The guy he dunked on.
Yeah. Jarris Walker, right? Jarris Walker played like 30, 40-something minutes for the whole game. You were getting all this smoke from Zach Edey last night, man. That's all I gotta say, bro. I'm not here to do a victory lap. I'm not here to tell anybody they need to eat crow. But just know, man, I'm looking at y'all ass with the Kobe Bryant staring down the crowd, staring down the line meme, man. You know what I'm talking about? The Joe look like he at church.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The young way like he at church looking at a kid who cutting up in school at school or at church or something. Man.
Oh, he got the guy he dunked on. Isaiah Jackson was his name.
Yeah, who you too, man? Got that ass ate up, man. All y'all could get it.
And the second guy, Enrique Freeman, was the second guy that tried to jump in when he dunked on both of them.
Freeman, Slaveman, whatever. You getting your ass told. all y'all could get it yesterday. Zach Edey was an absolute beast last night. 23 points, 9 rebounds in 23 minutes.
And the second half of the Chicago game. That's when he first got
just going off, man. And I tell you, bro, I joked about how he's a computer. He's an operating system. Bro, there are elements of truth to that, man. He's a guy who learned the game late, and he's processing the NBA, processing basketball differently than your average person who's been playing all their lives. When you typically get someone who's been playing since they was a little kid, when you try to teach them something, when they're trying to learn new things, their approach is, what can you teach me? I already know how to do everything. I already know all this. Zach Edey is coming in and saying, I don't know anything. Show me. And he's learning it, watching it, seeing it, processing it, and he's learning fast.
So
go ahead.
The specific play when he spent around, dunked on two people, Marcus Smart before the Bulls game, that was literally the same exact what he told him. There was a real video of him showing him that same exact move, and he did it in that game.
Coach Marcus Smart's out there working with him, got him right, got the beast mentality in him. I'm telling you, bro, Marcus Smart is going to be a great asset to this team on and off the court. I'm trying to tell people.
Of course, yeah. He's a true veteran, man. He's been there, done that. He's been at the highest. What we're trying to get to, he's been there perennially.
Game 1, Zach Edey had 5 fouls, 6 points, 4 rebounds, something like that.
He had many attempts.
He's got 1 foul since then. 1 foul since that game.
Learning.
In the 3 other games, Parish. And
I got a bone to pick with Taylor Jenkins. What was the point of bringing him off the bench?
I don't know. I just trying to mix things up, I guess, but man, screw all that. Let him play.
Yeah. Then we ain't got time for all that right now.
They were feeding him. They were going to him. He was slow. He was slowing down. You know what I mean? He was slowing down as well, finding easy ways to score, taking his time, being patient, scoring in the post. Look phenomenal, bro. Looks scary. And he wasn't doing that against Schmoes. Miles Turner's a star in the center.
Yeah.
And who is he not going to be able to do that against, bro? Good God. People are giving him praise all up and down Twitter. Analysts are giving him praise. What they saw last night, Tony Allen was giving him big praise on Vernon's show. Man, I'm excited about this. The Zach Edey era is here. I'm about to start calling the man MVP, man, for real. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. But go ahead, man.
I was gonna say this. Let's wait to the regular season before we see out there. I saw preseason last year too in the regular
So
season.
who now?
I saw plenty of other folks playing the preseason well last year. Regular season here, it was different. Now I believe in Zach Edey, but I'm holding my cards on a whole lot of stuff till I see it.
Hey, I'm not holding nothing back, bro. I'm throwing my draw 4 out first card. My big joker coming out. We leave all the game.
He's gonna be really good. I don't doubt him. But like some of these,
he's very good, bro.
Yeah, some of these other people, people like it's other people I got pause on, but yeah, Zach Edey, I believe in.
Yeah. Another thing, speaking of pause, bro, why the people so flaky, man, when they come down to Scottie Pippen Jr., bro? What y'all doing out there, man? Yeah,
so I've been off Twitter, so you're gonna tell me. I really
now the argument was, the Grizzlies, they got to do right by Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah, give him a roster spot
on this team, and they do right by him. It sets a good example, and got to get Scottie out there. Now people like they just seen Yuki little ass come out there, man. They doing double takes out here, man. They just y'all just change y'all mind on my boy Scottie Pippen Jr. But I will say this, bro.
I would say I got something. You go.
I've been saying this ever since I first saw Scottie Pippen Jr. When people saw him playing the point guard position, of course, people are gonna say, he could be the next Tyus, right? And I said, he could be the next backup point guard.
Yeah.
But he's much more small scoring guard than he is true point guard. Like I hear people say, you need a true point guard behind Jock. I'm like, well, that ain't Scottie Pippen Jr. He is a short scoring guard. He's not a true point guard. And he struggled with turnovers. He struggled making some very bad passes.
He's been doing it.
He's made some very bad passes in the preseason. Like, let's be for real. And he is almost like he don't know what to do with Zach Edey because he's thrown him some really bad passes in the preseason so far. I think that Scottie Pippen Jr. is a very good player. And I'm glad that people are slowing down, glad that people are calming down, because if we were in a situation where we had that one roster spot open and Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose had not retired, and we signed Scottie Pippen Jr. like y'all were asking us to do, we would have buyer's remorse right now for Scottie Pippen Jr. because we would have Vince Williams out, we would have Gigi Jackson out, and we wouldn't have any roster spots open, and we'll be wondering, okay, what do we do? And I think that it's okay to have at least that one spot open. And I'm gonna say this, man, they got to sign somebody very soon. They got to sign somebody to a spot, within the first couple weeks of the season.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna sign a guy. I'm not signing a guy that's not on this roster. So if I'm signing a guy that's already on this team, that's on the two-way, it's gonna be Jay Huff, man.
I was about to ask you that. That's what I was about to ask you. Would you sign Jay Huff? That's what I've seen. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be Jay Huff.
I can't agree with that. I think what I disagree with, and just not to cut you off, but the Yuki mania, signing him to the roster spot. All right, that's chill, bro. Like, all right, y'all take it too far.
Again, the weirdo logic, the super excited logic says, well, if we don't sign him to a regular deal,
ain't nobody signing him.
He's not gonna take a two-way because he can go play overseas.
Ain't nobody. He can go overseas, but he ain't no other NBA team signing him. Yeah, ain't no other overseas. Yeah, if another NBA team is not going to sign you,
right?
Why do I care?
And then people like, well, he was too good in international play and all that. Guess who else was real good in international play? Is Rondé Hollis Jefferson, fake Kobe.
Yes, killing over there. Like
fake Kobe was killing dudes. I don't care. We don't sign him to a regular deal. He ain't taking no two-way. All right, get your little ass back. Man, my dog. Like, I don't
care. 5'8", bro. Like this is Jackie Gilliard all over again. Okay, no, Jackie Gilliard played well for us last year. That's what's okay. Cool. That's what's up.
Shout out to Desi Banks signing a deal with the Grizzlies.
He might just like that, man. All right, so I seen the pictures of him.
What's the dude's name? Mediate Oni or something like that?
Oni, yo. I know his last name.
That man like a dude from Atlanta. That man, where's he from?
He looks just like Desi Banks. Like, Desi Banks, bro. They got to be related, dog. They got to be related. Yeah. Oh boy, but yeah. I mean, more I have on the over the most recent games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all said it, and I've seen that, and I have seen this through Twitter about Jalen Wells. We already know what's going to happen when the season starts, but
he gonna sit his ass down.
Yeah, but we know,
bro. I know people think I've gained a reputation, which is probably a very unfair reputation, right? I know I've gained a reputation to be anti Jake LaRavia, John Conchar, right? That's just something that people have thrown me over the years.
Hey, I was about to say the irony that Jaden Wells didn't recognize John Conchar when he approached him.
Yeah.
And now he out hooping him.
You about to sit y'all ass down. But I'm gonna say this. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that this new offense does not make Jake LaRavia or John Conchar look good at all. They look really bad in this system. Like this ain't the one. Because if I see Jake LaRavia reset a dribble one more time, if I see him dribble the ball, I have to stop and dribble again. Like, all right, bro. Like get your ball handled together, bro. But I think Jake is fine, but I'll say the same thing I've been saying.
He's
about
fine
Jake.
as a back end of the bench player. Which is what he is.
I'll say the same thing about him that I've been saying. If he's not a guy that can knock down open threes, I don't care about the other stuff he can do. Like he's not good enough in those things where they even matter. You know what I mean? Jalen Wells is a guy who comes in. If nothing else, I know he can knock down shots. I know he's gonna hustle, and he just move. It's like he's a guy who plays. Looks like he plays on his toes. Looks like he's constantly moving, ready to do something. And I think he's gonna be really good for this team. Will it be this year? Will we even see it this year? I don't know. If he's a guy that's kind of in the G League for a minute while he's getting his bearing, just to get some run, I can see that as well.
I don't know, man. I'm hoping because
once with full strength. I'm referring to.
That's what I'm thinking. But the thing,
until business he needs to be playing.
Right, and that's the thing is, it's gonna be a while till that happens. So I can see a scenario where the first couple games he rolled out Jake and John Conchar, and they just not doing anything. And you're like, okay, let me try out Jaden Wells in the third game of the season. And boom, he takes kind of like Vince Williams did last year. It was kind of like in later mid-November. He finally threw him out there. He guarded Jaylen Brown. And it was like, okay, boom, he took a spot. So I think we could face a scenario like that very early in the season. I'm hoping, at least that's the hope.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I like what Jalen Wells is doing. Really looking forward to see Cam Spencer once he gets going. I think he's probably just going to start off kind of getting minutes in the league. Yeah, but they're really setting things up with the Grizzlies to kind of have that future set. That's another thing too about Jay Huff. Right now, we talk about doing a guy right, doing guys wrong, all that type of stuff. Jay Huff's 27 years old. He's a guy who, maturity wise, he should be ready to be on the NBA roster, not in the G League. But with that being said, man. I didn't see any of this last night, but if they can make those Edey, not Wells, Huff lineups work together, where you got the 2 7-footers and you're playing Huff at a power forward spot,
that can work.
That's super. Santi Aldama. You know what I mean? Just being for real.
Because he's a better rebounder.
Yeah, because he can rebound, he can block shots,
and he can shoot
threes. Come on, man.
He probably a better shooter, honestly.
Being honest with you, and he doesn't seem to be. He seems to have a higher basketball IQ overall. Than he does as well. But I will say this: if that's the case, if that's what they end up doing, if you see that Jay Huff can get some minutes, not just minutes at power forward, but if you can play him with Brandon Clark. You know what I mean?
Which you can with the way that play style. Definitely can.
If you can use him the same way you use Santi. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Santi and Clark been looking good. Their chemistry together.
Yeah.
But if you can get away with playing Huff instead of Santi, and Santi at that point becomes expendable, you could trade him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my guy. Like I said, I've been enjoying it so far. One more preseason game left, I think, against Miami.
Yep. Friday against Miami.
Feel kind of more dress rehearsal. I think we'll see, maybe some Marcus Smart, some Jaren, maybe, type shit with that. But we'll see. But man, we're about to take a break, man. But when we come back, got a very, very exciting guest I'm excited to have on. This is my guy, man, Tyler Cole-Roach. You might not know the name, but you probably saw the face. He was on First Take, man, with Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Cam Newton. Did a cameo, bigging up the Grizzlies, asked them who they think would be better between the Grizzlies and the Lakers. They was doing a LeBron SPN type shit. Before Tyler came in and represented, man. When I saw it, I said, man, this kid got to be, I hear him, man. I know he a TSU. This got to be a Memphis kid, man. This ain't no Nashville kid talking, but he is a Memphis kid born and raised. He's going to join us when we come back, man. This is my guy, Tyler Cole-Roach is going to join us here on Anthony Sain Show when we come back. It's going to be on. We'll see y'all in a minute.
Yuki Mania.
Oh, boy.
I was thinking, I don't know if you know this or not, but Yuki on Instagram has posted 10 times. His last post was him in a Grizzlies uniform.
Okay.
He's posted 10 times. He has 630,000 followers. I was thinking, I don't know if you agree with this or not, that we are going to title this show Yuki Kawamura. That's it. Just his name. See how many views we can get. Apparently, Yuki's a bigger deal in Japan because he's kind of like the Steph Curry of Japan. He's 5'8".
Yes.
We can relate to him.
Yes.
We can do what he does.
No, we can't.
Well, not us. I'm just saying the collective, the people.
I want the people to say, no, y'all can't do what he does. The same size.
But they believe he can. They believe
okay,
they can.
you can believe it, but I'm just telling you, you can't do it.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
One, I want to see them be intentional about getting Dane Danger the basketball. I want to see that happen. I've heard so many good things about him in training camp, the weight he's lost, how he's moving around. He can be a connector of sorts, decent passer. He can put the ball on the ground. He can shoot from the mid-range a little bit. But with all of the talent he has, I don't think since the second half of the season with Jalen Duren, they've been very intentional about getting a natural big five the ball. So I want to see them be intentional about that off the jump. And then also I want to see their three-point shooting. Can Tyrese Hunter, PJ Haggerty, PJ Carter sort of supplement what Colby Rogers can do? You have Colby Rogers, who can be a knockdown 40% three-point shooter, but outside of that, you have a lot of guys that hover around 30 to 33%. You have to see who can supplement that type of shooting because you're going to need it in the out of conference to take down a lot of these really good teams you're going to play.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. We have a very important guest today. I was scrolling down my Twitter the other day, man. I saw this clip came up from First Take on ESPN with Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, and Cam Newton. And a young man was asking a question about what they think about the Grizzlies. Do they think the Grizzlies would be better than the Lakers? This young man got up. And Tyler, I'll just be honest with you, man. This is my man, Tyler Cole-Roach. He's a very exciting young man. When I first saw the video, I got this long running rivalry with the city of Nashville, right? I just don't really care for Nashville at all. And my daughter went to school in MTSU, so I gave her some grace because she was too close to Nashville, but still I gave her grace, right? But so with that being said, I made a tweet and I said I guarantee you that kid's actually not from Nashville. I bet that kid's from Memphis. And I had somebody on Twitter say, yeah, he is from Memphis, and you know him. Y'all went to church together. That's Crystal's son. So I said, oh shit. So I looked into it, and I've been knowing you since you were a little kid, man. So excited to have you on. My man Tyler Cole-Roach was in the audience for First Take last weekend. Tell us how that whole thing happened. I know that First Take was in Nashville for TSU's homecoming. How did you get in the audience, and how did you get the microphone? Tell us how that whole thing went down, Tyler.
So first of all, I didn't know I was gonna do it till last minute. It was so last minute. Like, so we was the day before I was in my mom's office. It just happened to be right place, right time. So she got a phone call saying that First Take wanted some people to ask some questions, do some takes and stuff like that on the show when they come through. And originally I wasn't planning on doing it. I was like, I don't know. I'm not too fun to being in front of a camera. Like, I like taking behind it. I like being behind the camera. And mom was like, no, you're doing it. And I was like, okay, I can't argue with your mom, man. I'm like, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And so we had to, you know what I'm saying? We had to come up with takes and stuff like that. And the first take that I had was like, the Grizzlies are a bigger threat in the West than the Lakers. I was like, cool, I could do that. Cause like, I know basketball.
Well, your question. They gave you a question to ask.
But basically, yeah. But I was like, that's something I could take. Like, I know I could talk about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything else is like, football. Now, don't get me wrong, I know football, but I know basketball like the back of my hand. So I could definitely talk about it. And the Grizzlies my favorite team. So it's like there's no arguing here. Like, we can go back and forth regardless. So
So you knew you were about to be on TV. You knew you had a question to ask. You knew what question you were going to ask. What did you think they were going to say? Like, knowing that you were a Grizzly fan, knowing that you were on LeBron ESPN, knowing that you were there. Like, what did you think? How did you think the whole thing was going to go down?
My initial thought process, like their reaction was going to be like super wild. See, I watch these folks on television almost every day.
Yeah. So
like watching them, and I'm like, okay, cool. Stephen A, he may be a little calm. I may be ruffling Shannon's feathers right quick. So I be prepared for an argument. Something might happen. And then they made that face, and I was like, oh yeah, I messed up. I'm here now.
Yeah, you still in your square though, man. I love it because you still in your square. Like, man, this dude, like this little dude, I like this little dude. I don't know if you know the movie Baby Boy when they were punching them kids in the face. And this little dude got heart, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, that dude stood up in front of. You stood up in front of some of the biggest names in sports media, content creating. You know, Cam Newton is new in that lane. He's got a really big podcast. You got Shannon Sharp, who's a beast in this that lane for sure, and Stephen A. Smith, who's one of the greatest of all time. Like, you stood toe to toe with them, and you stood in your take, man. You didn't laugh with them, you didn't joke with them. You stood straight up, was like, no, I don't agree with y'all, and I'm cool with it. And like I said, man, this guy could not be from Nashville. This kid's got to be from Memphis. And lo and behold, you are, and here you are here on the Anthony Sain Show. What are your thoughts on? I know you said that you watch those gentlemen every day. You watch that show all the time. What are your thoughts on the current state of, how we digest media at this time, whether it be social media, whether it be YouTube or television shows like First Take? What are your thoughts on how we are able to digest sports media right
now? We consume it a lot more than I think we should. That's my opinion. I believe we're always on social media now. Technology has gotten us to a point where we're like, we need social media more than we need to eat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's healthy, but nevertheless, I mean, you're still seeing it regardless. So social media is not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. It's like having a balance. You know what I mean? Like, everything in life is about a balance.
Yeah.
Social media is just a part of that lifespan where you need to have a balance within it. That's just me.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, man, because like yesterday, after Zach Edey went off in the preseason game, right? This guy, Minnesota Timberwolves fan, was like, well, they still shouldn't have, he's still not a lottery pick. Like, I don't, that's not a lottery pick, right? And I easily could have just ignored this dude because he wasn't even talking to me. He was talking to the original poster, right? And I responded. I was like, bro, like, you can't be serious, right? And he was like, oh, yeah, I stand on it. Like, he's not. I said, so you're saying that Zach Edey is not a top 14 player in this draft? He said, no, he's not. And I was like, okay. So then people were coming in and they were bookmarking it, and one dude screenshot the bookmark. I'm like, bro, this is such a weird way. Like, why do I feel like I have to even respond to this stupidity, like obvious stupidity? So I definitely agree with you. It's so strange now how we just can't watch a game and enjoy it. It's like we have to get in this combative mode when it comes down to discussing sports, and like it's so strange. And I'm somebody's been doing this for a while. I'm pretty much tired of it. But like I said, man, I liked how you stood on your square, man, and you had your take. And I agree with you. I think the Lakers are going to be good at all this year, even though they've got two of the top players in the league on their roster. That team just it always looks like they always have like this disjointed, disconnected, just bag of parts. You know what I mean? The guys that don't really go together, just kind of signing guys just to be signing guys, and they don't have any cohesive fit. So I don't think the Lakers are going to be too good at all. So with that being said, just talk more about what you think about the Grizzlies, especially after seeing a few preseason games and things like that. What do you think about how the Grizzlies have looked so far?
I like them. I personally like this team. We're looking at a very healthy team this year. We got the full 9 yards back. Now, obviously, Ja had that injury scare, but I mean, it's just a preseason. We're looking at a full-fledged season where we have a solid starting five. We have a backup guard. We have our leader on the team back. We have a solid big man who's nice around the block and has a nice elbow jump shot. We're looking at Jaren Jackson, who can stretch the floor. We have defense, we have offense, we have a great bench unit. Obviously, GG is injured right now, but I mean, when he comes back, we've seen him drop 26 and 2 on any given night, and that's with injuries involved. We got Vince Williams, who can fill the floor up. He can facilitate if you need to, guard the best of them. I like the Grizzlies roster. I feel like they're full. It's a full unit. We may be a little young, supposedly, but we've never been able to escape from allegations since Ja got drafted.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the Grizzlies as a team is mature enough to go far in the playoffs. We have a nice bench unit. We have a starting five you can alternate within the bench unit. We can go arguably 10, 11 deep if we really needed to. Like we can shorten the roster. We can fill the roster. We have people who can fill in for injuries. Like the Grizzlies are good.
Yeah,
we've seen the Grizzlies back when they were originally healthy. When I say originally healthy, this is the way I put it. Like Ja is on this team, right? Mm-hmm. And with Ja on the team, we've taken a team to 6 games that won the championship. Mm-hmm. That was in 2022. 2023, he had off-court issues, obviously. And then 2024, he came back 25 games and got injured again. But in those 25 games, they were positive. Yeah. It was a positive win-loss. So we're looking at a healthy team with a Marcus Smart who has experience in the playoffs. We're looking at a Jaren Jackson who can give you 20, and he's a DPOY. Marcus Smart, DPOY. Zach Edey, 7-5, can give you 12 and 12 a night. Mm-hmm. Ja Morant looking at a revenge season. We looking at 26, 7 and 6. Like I'm not worried about anything. Our bench unit can put up numbers. Yeah, like we're good this year.
Yeah, I agree, man. They definitely have depth, and it's like we went into the season. You're talking about a 10-man rotation, right? Like guys who you thought would be in that rotation, and then you find out that okay, Jay Huff can hoop. Okay, Jalen Wells can hoop. Like so, that 10 guys who I think can play is now expanded out to 12. And then there's this little 5'8" dude who's running around. Right. It's like, all right, bro, we got some dudes that can play on this team. And it's like we've looked good in the preseason. That first game was kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie, because they're still trying to figure out the new offense, and we'll talk about that. But what I was saying is they're still looking good. They looked very good last night. And you haven't seen Jaren Jackson Jr. at all. You saw a little bit of Marcus Smart. You saw a taste of Ja Morant. You haven't seen Vince. You haven't seen Gigi. That's a starting 5 unit. If the Grizzlies said, okay, our starters are going to be Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja, Marcus Smart, Vince, and Gigi, like, okay, let's roll. We'll figure it out. Like, that's a starting unit that you've not seen in the preseason, and everyone else has still looked very good. So, yeah, like I said, it's definitely reason to be optimistic about this team. All right, let's talk about the man in the middle. Zach Edey, number 14, had a huge game last night. I want to say he had 23 and 9 in 23 minutes. Super efficient game. Didn't look like he was breaking a sweat doing it. What were your thoughts about Zach Edey before the draft? Were you always a fan of the Grizzlies taking him? Did that switch up? When did it switch up? And how do you see him now?
Okay, and this may sound cliche. I called it. I knew it was gonna happen because the Grizzlies needed a big man. Once we didn't have Steven Adams, we needed a big man. It was either Kel'el Ware, who's on Miami, I think now, or Zach Edey. We needed Zach Edey. I like him.
Those are your two guys. Zach and Khalil were your two guys.
Yes, okay. or Donovan Clingan.
Clingan, okay.
But he went super early. I wouldn't expect him to go that high. So I was like, okay, cool. We got Zach Edey on the board. I was questioning it at first. I was like, let's see what we can do with that. Zach Edey at Purdue, he was a dominant force at Purdue. Let's get that out the way. Like there's no guarding him. Now we see him on the Grizzlies. He's mobile. This man can move. Like I'm not worried about anything transition wise with him. They said his biggest like weakness, mobility.
He doesn't look slow at all. He looks like any other big in the NBA to be.
Right. He's just as good as the rest of them right now in terms of mobility. So I'm not really worried about that. So before I was like, let me think about it. And then seeing him afterwards, I was like, okay, I had no worries to begin with. Like there was no hesitation. Zach Edey is a great addition. We're looking at somebody as tall as Steven Adams, who has a jump shot, in my opinion. I feel like he can get the job done defensively. With already 2 DPOYs on the team, I have nothing to worry about. Zach Edey is going to be a solid big in this league, in my opinion.
What are your thoughts on the guard play? When I say guard play, I mean the backup guards. We talked about my boy Yuki, 5'8", just been a whiz mastermind with the ball in his hands. Scottie Pippen Jr. Been a little turnover prone. He's been knocking down shots, playing good defense. Kind of been struggling a little bit in the preseason. What are your thoughts on those two guys? And do you think our backup point guard will be one of those two guys or somebody that's not on the roster, where they just let kind of like Marcus Smart deal with those type of things? How do you think that whole backup point guard situation is going to play out?
My thinking is they're going to use Marcus Smart more so, just because of his maturity. Give Ja a little rest, and you can have Marcus lead the backup unit. Now, with that being said, I like Scottie Pippen Jr. I do. I like his scoring potential. I like the way he facilitates. He's good for 20 and 9. Yes, he's turnover prone, but that's something he can work on. It's just the preseason. We have 82 games left over where he can still learn. And then you have 2 guards in front of you that is really good at keeping the rock in their hands, keeping the rock within their possessions. Like, we're good. So I think I think Scottie Pippen is going to be great off the bench. Now, using him, he probably going to play like, I give him like 15 to 20, but I suggest him being with Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart going to lead. And Yuki, I ain't gonna lie, the 5'8" point guard, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. I like him. Now his biggest issue is probably his height. That's regardless though. Usually in the NBA, everybody's over like the height of 6 foot minimum. Yeah. So I mean, his biggest weakness, so called, might be his height, but I like his vision. Yeah. He sees the floor just as good as somebody who's 6'8". So yeah, I'm not really worried about that either. He may play a little less time just because Marcus Smart might play the backup role, and you got Ja Morant on the floor, and then you got Scottie and stuff like that. But he still is going to find a way to get minutes. I think he's good enough to play in the league. So with that being said, my next question for you was, the Grizzlies have 13 guys on the contract right now. You got 3 two-ways, right? You got to sign at least one. You got to sign at least one more person to make your roster 14 within a few weeks of when the season starts. So how are you handling that? Are you doing Scottie Pippen Jr.? Are you doing Jay Huff? Are you doing both of those guys for 14 and 15? Are you signing Yuki? What are you doing, man? Like, how you gonna handle them last 2 spots? Or is it somebody not on this roster? Or how you doing it? I don't know. This is my issue. I think the Grizzlies are a complete team. So it's like, usually I would pick somebody that we may have a weaker value of. We have 2 solid guards already. If it's me, I would choose a guard just to be on the safe side. But Jay Huff is a bucket. Let's get that out the way. Jay Huff can get the job done. Now, with that being said, we do have tall guys on the team, and I feel like we can run a small ball unit if we need to, if need be. Juju's tall enough to play the big. He's tall enough. We got Jaren Jackson who can play the big. I'm not worried about bigs as much as I may think so. And I think Zach Edey can be healthy enough. I think they're going to play Gigi more as a 4 than they're going to play him as a 3 this year anyway. Yeah. Go ahead. I agree. So in terms of signing, come on, man, be a GM, man. Step up, man. I gotta say, I signed Scottie. I've seen him before. I've seen him play last year. I've seen him play last season with the injuries, and he did really well. Like I said, he is turnover prone, but that's okay. That's something that can be developed, that can be worked on. And plus, he's on a 2-way contract, so he's getting minutes in the G League regardless. So he can work on that while he's still playing in the G League. So I would suggest signing him. So you're saying just Scottie or Scottie and Huff, or what are you doing? I'd rather sign. No, I sign both. Okay. Jay Huff can get the job done. Right. He was somebody I was not expecting at all. I did not expect him to do as well as he does. Like, he's really good. I expected. Go ahead. No, you can go ahead. I just believe like minutes may be a little tight for him, but he can get the job done. I expected coming into the preseason, I thought that it would kind of play out that Scottie Pippen Jr. would just kind of separate himself and just that 14th spot would be his. But since I seen Jay Huff and just kind of thinking about it, I'm thinking about, okay, like what if worst case scenario, Zach Edey gets hurt and he's out for a while? I think it's a lot easier to slide Jay Huff in and say, okay, Jay Huff can play starting center. He can eat up a lot of those center minutes. Then it is, and I think you can kind of keep it afloat. I think you can still be good. I think you can still be really good if Jay Huff is still there, if Edey goes down. But if Ja Morant goes down, I don't care if you got 3 Scottie Pippen Juniors. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, you can't replicate what Ja Morant is to this team with Scottie Pippen Jr. But I think that with if Huff is there, that's why I kind of got him number 1 in my pecking order. You don't have Twitter. You're not on Twitter. So something I've been debating forever is the importance or lack of importance of a backup point guard in today's NBA. Because if you think about the top point guards in the league, you probably can't even tell me who their backup point guard is. Who's ever their backup point guard probably is the other guard. Like, it's typically the shooting guard on the team, or there's some combo guard coming off the bench. It's typically not a true backup point guard in most situations. So I never really put too much of that, too much thought into that. Because I'm like, if Ja gets hurt, you're done. It is what it is if Ja's out. But yeah, I think we're pretty similar. I think we both agreed that there's no need to try to find somebody that's not on this team, like signing somebody in free agency. I think that the guys who we have right now, they'll make it happen. And as far as Yuki's concerned, I don't know how they can handle him, because if
I don't think he's going to sign a two-way contract with us. I think that he's a guy who has so much international appeal. I think he'll take a deal for more money to go overseas, unless his dream is to be in the NBA and he wants to be a part of it. I mean, that could trump everything with him. So, but it's still, you know, it's to be seen. It's to be seen for sure. But going back to what you've seen so far in the preseason, outside of guys that we mentioned, what guys have really stood out to you? What guys have surprised you? Or like maybe what guys even, you know, kind of let you down? You thought they would bring more so far in the preseason, but they haven't brought as much to you.
I'm not really shocked by anything. I think I'm more so worried about the injuries that may arise. We dealt with a lot of injuries last year. And I wasn't, really. Because it's like, I know how good this team can be. So it's like, with injuries, what does it look like? And I don't want to, that doesn't shake my point. I still think we're going far. It's the old saying Jai used to have when he was still playing, like, we're fine in the West. I wouldn't say fine, but injuries are a big issue. So I'm more so worried about, can they bounce back from their injuries? You know what I mean? Can we get that same play style that we used to pre-injury? So I'm not really worried about so much as that game, because I know they can step it up once the regular season happens. Preseason, usually you're not going to play your best players anyway, and that's totally fine, because you don't want to risk that injury. So I'm more so worried about, are we seeing signs of them slowing down a little bit? Are we seeing signs of them going back to regular speed? Are we seeing signs of them even getting better? You know what I mean? Like that's more so what I'm worried about. So I'm not really affected by who's not really surprising me or who's really disappointing me. You know what I mean? I just want to see, as a cohesive unit, how far can we work?
The Grizzlies overhauled their assistant coaching staff over the offseason. A lot of new guys came in. They're running a totally different offense than what they've ever ran before. A lot of guys, a lot of ball handling, a lot of playmaking, multiple guys, not just Ja giving the ball to Ja and everybody else gets out of the way. A lot of guys allow, freedom of mobility, making plays, backdoor cuts, all those type of things. A lot of motion, a lot of movement around the perimeter. What are your thoughts on the offense, how it's looked so far, the adjustments they're making to it? We were seeing they're looking for Zach Edey more. Seems like they're slowing it down just a tad. What are your thoughts on this new offense that we're seeing by Taylor Jenkins and the Grizzlies?
I like this offense. I really like this offense because we don't have to heavily rely on our star anymore. We have people who can fill in roles. Like I said, the Grizzlies are a well-versed team. We're an all-around team. Like I said, with Vince Williams being able to facilitate or guard or take a jump shot, we have scorers, we have defenders, we have facilitators, we have people who can fill in spots. So we don't really need to heavily rely on Ja. I've noticed, and I've compared this. I'm comparing this team to the 2022 team. This is the team with Tyus Jones and them when Ja was out, and Tyus Jones could take this team and drop 20 any given night. I like the way that looks, because this offense showing me that regardless of who gets down, if we still have a solid team, we're still going somewhere. Like, I'm not worried about that. There used to be an argument when Ja was out if the Grizzlies was better without him. That's the argument I want now. And I like this offense because that's the argument that can arise because of it. Everybody's filling the position. You looking for Zach Edey, get him big time minutes, make him, get warmed up to the league. Because every rookie is going to have their welcome to the league moment.
Yeah.
But we warm him up to the league. We're looking at a solid pick, somebody who can become potentially an all-star, a superstar in the league based off height alone. Scoring ability, he's getting there. Rebounds is there. Like, I'm not worried about any of that. So it's like, I like this offense. It's not heavily reliant on one particular person. I like the offensive movement. Right. At a point guard at all, because you really need your point guard. You lose the head of your team. You're a chicken with your head cut off, man. Yeah. Like, I like this offense. I do. I believe this offense is what we're looking for. If I'm being honest, I think this offense is what we're looking for.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot for sure. When we open up the segment, of course, we got my guy Tyler Cole-Roach joining the show today. We opened the show talking about how you went head to head with some of the Titans in the sports world, right? And we understand that the bias and the narratives that they have to kind of stand close to. I get it. I get that whole national ESPN. You gotta cater to a certain demographic. We get it, right? But you stood toe to toe with those guys. You had a very, very good stance. Like I said, I was happy for you. I was even proud of you, especially knowing you were a Memphian and someone I had, some level of connection to. So with that being said, I know that we talked off the air and you said that you had some aspirations to continue those type of things, being involved in the sports world behind the scenes, whether it be media, photography, journalism, whatever you're doing, content creating, whatever you're doing. So what does the next 5 years look like for Tyler Cole-Roach in a perfect scenario for you?
Perfect scenario, 5 years later, working for something sports related, whether it be ESPN, Bleacher Report, working with a sports team. 5 years later, you're looking at me on anything sports related, whether it be a podcast, photography, videography, stuff like that. Like, you're going to see me, I say, doing big things, because that's what I'm striving for. My end goal is to be one of those titans. I want to be looking at another generation being like nervous around me because I'm coming in jumping like Stephen A. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be one of those titans in the next 5 years. Like, I'm fighting to be that titan. So.
Yeah, man. I see it, brother. I see it for sure. And I'm sure you're going to come in and get some of these old guys like me about the way, man, for sure. That's my man, Tyler Cole-Roach, man. I remember this guy, he was a young one out here, man. Look, he's doing big things. Y'all saw him on ESPN going toe-to-toe, man, with these bums out here. My guy, Tyler Cole-Roach, in the building. I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a good one for sure, man. Hey, we got to do this again, man, for sure.
Definitely. I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah. We're going to rock again. It's my guy, Tyler Cole-Roach. You can't follow him on Twitter because the brother ain't even on Twitter. He ain't got time for all that, man. Well, what's your Instagram, though, fam?
Follow me on Instagram for sure. 9 is the letter 9, or excuse me, the number 9, the letters O, the number 1 .TYY. 901 top.
So 901 TYY?
Yeah.
It is 90 like the letter O.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Y'all follow him on Instagram, man. My guy, Tyler Cole-Roach. You're going to see him a lot. Y'all saw him on ESPN, and you see him on the Anthony Sain show. You're going to see him around. That's my guy. Tell you what, we're about to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be more the Anthony Sain show. See you guys in a minute.
I need to shift everyone's thinking on like quarterback prospects. The most important thing when evaluating a quarterback is where's he actually going to end up?
Yeah. Why are we taking somebody if we can't, tailor-make a system towards them, or if they don't fit the system we're already in? And I'll give an example on that of what's already happened to show that it's shifting that way. It's the person that we just talked about in Jaden Daniels. What did Washington do? They went out and got the coordinator that could perfectly craft a system to Jaden Daniels. Instead of trying to fit a square peg.
Instead of bringing in Caleb Williams and making his OC Shane fucking Waldron. You know what I mean? Who couldn't even get Geno up and going.
Exactly. So, and that's my point, is there's nothing more important to a quarterback than a system. A quarterback can be ultra talented, but if you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, 99% of the time it's not going to work.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We turned down the Pac-2, 7, whatever they are, last Monday, and then Thursday. It was Thursday, right? That
folks calling for Ed Scott's job, calling him a fraud, a clown.
It's wild because my guy's been here for like 36 hours.
They wanted to fire Ed Scott,
but he addressed the situation. 25 minutes, basically laid it all out there, and there were a lot of people very upset by it and frustrated. TJ and I were the ones that I feel like were on the side, like, hey, we know the details that made sense. We know why we said no. But after hearing from Dr. Scott, a lot of people are kind of like, all right, I get it. It makes sense. We've talked about this before. The dude is an elite communicator.
Given what you had on the table as fans, it was a bad deal.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain show. Shout out to my boy, man, Tyler Cole-Roach. Great interview. Hey, the future bright for that brother, man. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to get my words together, but yeah, he's gonna be really good. Great interview with him, man. Like I said, and his energy when he was on First Take, I said, "Nah, that little dude for Memphis, man. That little dude for Memphis. There ain't no Nashville dude, but he from Memphis, man, for sure. So shout out to him. I'm gonna tell you something else I'm struggling with, Parish. Sorry. I have officially caved in and ordered the Bally's app. I'm paying for legit.
I have too. I had the free trial, right? And I got to tomorrow to cancel it. And
Me too.
I'm still kind of like
for the Dallas game. You got to put the Dallas game.
I'm still kind of like, man, I'm gonna have to go and keep it, but I'm going to the last minute thinking on it.
So you can have it without having cable service, right? You can have it as a standalone app, like
Apple, you just got to pay. You got to pay $20 a month. Yep.
I'm with it. Like that's cool. If I can watch every Grizzly game, I'm cool with it, bro.
I'm cool, but it's like, dang, bro. Like, why
do people complain about it so bad?
I think one be messing up. Two, you're paying $20 a month. Like we got Apple. Well, not Apple, Amazon, right? Amazon Prime, and you get Prime Video. You get all these shows and movies and stuff. Yeah. That's like $16.
Nothing but Grizzly games.
yeah, it's like we got this for straight.
No desire to watch the Predators.
You know what I'm saying? We could get 2-day shipping and Prime Video,
right?
For less than it. But I gotta pay extra $20 for this. Like, I see.
Can I get some shit shipped to the house on Bally's?
Right.
Bro, what is Bally's? Hey, wasn't Bally's like a casino or something like that at one time?
That sounds about right. I'm not sure, but that sounds right. That sounds right. That sounds right, though.
But yeah, man. But yeah, shout out to that. Not a fan. Not a fan of having to pay for actual streams. I'm not with it. I'm not a fan of being legit, man. And sitting down and downloading the app and watching the game in real time. And Pete, I heard Pete and Brevin for the first time in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
I normally get the road. I normally get the other team's broadcast, but I don't get Pete.
You know the other part about this, and that's why I hate.
These guys are pretty good.
Here go what I hate about the blackout thing, right? When you watch it on NBA League Pass, because NBA League Pass is cheaper than Bally. You can get NBA League Pass with commercials for like $16.
Yeah.
But the Grizzlies games are blacked out on it. So I was like, dang, bro, at least in NBA League Pass, I could watch every team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So it's messed up, but it is what it is.
Hey, it is what it is, bro. I went on and got legit this year. But also tonight, man, big event. We recorded this course on Tuesday. Big event here in the city of Memphis. I'm sure by the time we watch it, we'll be talking about how successful it was. The St. Jude hoops for something.
Hoops for St. Jude.
Yeah,
hoops for St. Jude.
Yeah, something classic. The St. Jude joint. It's FedEx Forum. Awesome event, man. For benefits of St. Jude. I want to say all proceeds go to St. Jude, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
It's a great event. North Carolina versus the men's University of Memphis men's team is going to kick it off the first game. Then the ladies.
Oh, that's the first game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The ladies got
that's what's up. So you got the number one, South Carolina, Don Staley.
South Carolina. Don Staley taking
officially
on
number one. Officially number one this season.
Yeah, two-time defending champion South Carolina taking on the University of Memphis girls team. Awesome night, man. Somebody bought 1,000 tickets last night.
Yeah,
and donated those to. And I don't think Trey Draper bought these tickets, but I think Trey Draper is the person. He's the person they're putting in charge of distributing them to the youth organizations, and I think that's really dope.
And also, Memphis Shelby County Schools, my employer, they bought somebody. I don't know if they bought the 100 tickets or somebody donated 100 tickets to us too. But the superintendent sent us an email as well, 100 tickets.
That was up, man. That was up. I hope they get the numbers they need. Hope this event is something that keeps going, man. And all these type of things, but hope this is something that we can keep going in Memphis. Awesome event, man. North Carolina guys, South Carolina ladies. You talk about historic programs in college basketball.
Yeah,
that's who they are. Hope it's a great event. Shout out to
good.
Yeah,
it's also good for the teams to play against that type of competition, especially the women. Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. If you beat North Carolina tonight, I don't care if it counts or not. That's a good win. You know what I mean? That's a good way to come into the season to see how confident you feel about this team. So I like it. I want to see these guys. Is it on TV at all?
I heard it was. It was. I have to check though. I heard it was that there was. Somebody said something that was going to be on TV.
ESPN is what somebody just told me. So
okay.
Yeah. So
I probably can confirm that right now.
Yeah, get that channel if you ain't got it, man. Get that channel if you ain't got it. I got that. My bootleg stream works on that all day long. I ain't got to be legit for that one. That joint work. So yeah, but shout out to that event. I'm sure it's awesome. Shout out to our girl, Shamaria Wiseman, man.
Yeah, she gonna be covering, man. Look at her.
Covering the team, Memphis Tiger, lady in Memphis Tiger. Is it women's? No, women's. Man, we never got to have.
Y'all did have the whole.
Yeah, the team is not the men. That's the team she's covering. She's the beat reporter for that team. Excited for Shamaria for sure.
And it will be on ESPN. The men's at least will be on ESPNU. I don't see the women.
Check it out, man. It's going down tonight. I think it's gonna be a great event for sure at FedEx Forum. But that's all I got, man. Shout out to my man Parish. Shout out to my guy Tyler Cole-Roach, who was awesome today as well. It's another Anthony Sain show on the book. Doing things a little different, man. We've been tinkering them things here and there how we want to do stuff, man. You know, we're gonna get it how we want it in a minute, man. This is gonna be good for y'all. But yeah, it's gonna be more of the same, man. But it's all good. But until this Friday, we'll see y'all. Hopefully, we'll have the big three on that show. Me, you, and Kenny together. Kenny been on vacation and doing all type of stuff. He's covering the game. Yeah, he's covering the game right now as we speak. So
the best big three since who?
Since
it can't be Kendrick Cole. It ain't Kendrick Cole and Drake.
Yeah, never happened.
He said just big him.
Yeah, we got. Hey, Drake said it's Big D. Yeah, you got video proof. That was the most cringe line. Like, but Drake paused, bro. Like, why are you referencing like a leaked video you with your meat out, man? Come on, family. It said you got video proof that you Big D. Come on, man. Come on, Drake. You my guy, man. I already had to, deal with just being forced to see your penis on Twitter, like without looking for it, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But until Friday, hopefully you'll get the big three, man. The best big three since Josh, Jaren, and Dez, for sure.
There we go.
It's me, Kenny Stubblefield, my man, Parish Shocking. For Parish Shocking, Anthony Sain. See y'all Friday, man, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.